Hello, my dear Sagittarius. This is your love and spirituality reading for the time between June 1st and June 15, 2018, with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. I read for the signs in the order of most liked videos, so don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and reward me for my efforts. I have put astrological information for the month of June in a video of its own that you can check out in my playlist Q&A. You can also find it at my webpage www.queenofcupstarot.se. The reading can go both ways. The message is for the people who watch it, so if you cross-watch for another sign and recognize yourself as the main person of the reading, just trust your own intuition and you will get the message you need about that particular relationship. The new deck, I have added a new deck to my general readings that I have used successfully for my private clients for long periods of time. The lovely Osho Zen Tarot I will use for the more spiritual mid-month readings. The new deck is the Druid Craft Tarot by Philip and Stephanie Carr-Gome, illustrated by Will Worthington. And I will start shuffling your cards. When I open your deck here, I see the King of Swords and Prince of Swords. Oh, this was a lot of air here in your fire reading, and also hair, sorry. So, King of Swords and Prince of Swords. So, it's like an army. King of Swords is Aquarius usually, and Prince of Swords is usually Gemini. So, it might be that you are a lot up in your head right now, maybe thinking, trying to envision your new future, where to go, where to invest, but it's still like a quest, going on a quest, or maybe on a raid. I don't know, it seems serious. The King of Swords is very clear-minded. He has been to many battles in his life, so he's not that eager to throw himself into a new one. He might keep himself a little bit on the margin of relationships, and he doesn't engage so much in super social activities. He's more a very intellectual, a thinker. He sees things from an above perspective. He calculates things. The Prince of Swords, on the other hand, is more a social guy. He wants to be in the midst of attention. He wants to make a fuss. He can also be rather dramatic. Prince of Swords is very quick-minded, but can also jump into conclusion and think that people are out to get him, or he needs to stop something before it gets real bad for his own sake. Sometimes can be a little bit selfish. This is not saying anything about the actual signs that's tied to this. It's just talking about what I read into this card. You can see this the thoughtful expression on this King of Swords, and the more sharp expression on this attacking Knight of Swords. It might be a battle between a younger entity and an older one, one that's not so dramatic, but it might be drama anyway, since the Knight of Swords is particularly rather dramatic. So we'll see where it goes with this, but it might be for some of you, it might be school, even though I want to say battle school. Because these kind of things also comes when you are, working for your PhD or, some higher education. But with the Prince of Swords, it's more, I'm getting the feeling of maybe like a college student that isn't that applied to his studies, but actually maybe, driving around in a very fast car and being on parties, and it's like a go-getter. It's not really that super compassionate energy. Okay, so I called the Divine with Love and Light. And here we have the Prince of Cups in this with the Prince of Swords. So interesting. If we are at college, the Prince of Cups would be the guy that's very artistic. He also have a very smooth mouth, know what to say to the ladies to get them interested. He might also not be interested in ladies, but actually in this Prince of Swords. I'm just trying to build up the archetypes for you, so you will understand what they want to say in your life. So this might be two different sides to you. The Prince of Swords already think that he has it all figured out, while the Prince of Cups is more like a seeker, someone that doesn't know everything but's very curious on finding out. And I bet these two people together could eventually become as King of Swords when they have battle it all through, like a person that are ready to defend themselves, but in the same time have a greater vision and a greater understanding also for other sides of reality than just power and intellect. So I call the 4 archangels in the 4 corners of the world, and we have here the world together with the Prince of Swords. So the world is, it's a card of walking on your highest path towards your highest destiny. It's also graduating. So I'm thinking you are going through some kind of schooling event, but it might be that you're put under a lot of pressure from people that might not have everyone else's best interest in their way. But if you make it through here, if you're able to navigate these waters, it's actually going to come a real reward for you. So if you feel that you are in a situation that might be a little bit pumped up with aggression and people that knows best and everyone has their solution, and it seems like they don't want to listen to anyone else, it's actually going to lead to something rather prosperous. It's a little bit like this person is coming full attack here, and it's a naked female on the other that seems very unprotected. So I'm thinking with this being a major arcana card, that you don't have to have a shield and a weapon to be able to make this situation harmonious. You can just be you can see her posture and her face, that she's very self-assured and she's calm. It's like, even if this person would say something like cliche, what can I figure out here? I see something a person would say with this kind of mood. Maybe they would say, well, you're such a coward. They will say something like diminishing you. But in this situation, you would just say, well, maybe I am. And so what's it to you? How can I help you? How am I irritating you in this way? So you feel like you need to call me a coward. So you don't have to budge for. People can use words in very hurtful ways, but you don't have to let it. It's like this person is not taking it personal. They have this shield of like Mother Nature. It's almost like a cocoon around this person. Of course, it can be it can be symbolizing something else, but and of course this too. It can be a very sexual thing. But I'm thinking that this person is not going to let this other person get to them. So I'm thinking this person has most to learn in this situation, that they can't rule other people by intimidating them or like putting themselves on a position of being on their high horses and other people diminishing them with words or whatever they are using here. I'm not thinking that this is not a narcissistic personality type. It can be in extreme cases, but mostly it's going to be a person that's a little bit undeveloped. They think that the life is a battle and that you need to battle through it. But eventually, when meeting people like this that's so calm, they will see that this weapon isn't ultimate, like it's not useful in any situation, and they might get more tools to use than just intimidating people. Okay, maybe developing a personality, who knows. So I call the 6 elements: earth, wind, fire, and here we have a King of Wands and the Prince of Swords. So it's kind of the same situation here. It's a King of Wands, the king. They are calm, they are cool. He comes as an Aries here, but this is probably you. And he has his shield like very in a very relaxed position. Also his body is kind of awake and alert, but relaxed. So, and he's interested, but he's not fearful. You can see this. He's under attack here from this Knight of Swords, but he's not fearful. So I'm thinking the same thing is going to be here as with the 21, the World card, that this person is not going to react on this person's methods. This person has learned these kind of methods from growing up, maybe being spoiled as a child, maybe bullying other children, or maybe being bullied themselves. So getting very hard outer shell and learn very rapid comments that you can use in situations to get the upper hand. But it's not going to work in this situation. So I'm thinking it's a teaching moment where you are either the student or the teacher, and it doesn't matter which, because this person isn't a bad person. It's just a person that is a little bit unexperienced and need to broaden their vision and see that probably with a person like this, they are treating themselves in the same way as they treat others. So it would be awful to live in their body and constantly hearing, "You're a fool, you're so stupid, look at your mirror, like your face in the mirror, I wish you were never born," or whatever can come out of this person's mind. It can be a lot of rubbish, and it's also what comes out in relationship to others. So this is actually a very helpful situation because this person's coolness will teach this person another way of being. And this is of course also, if you have this person on the outside, you have them on the inside. So this is one archetype within you and this is another. So one is more calm and cool and not so particularly dramatic, and another part of you thinks that everything will go wrong if you don't keep yourself sharp, if you don't keep yourself very like judgmental and watching out for what can come in the future, being prepared, having your pencil sharp and your sword also. So it needs to be some kind of balance between these two. You can be too cool as well, but you can also be too much questioning everything and having this little bit of selfish agenda, while the King of Wands is more like this person that wants to see to that everyone has a good position. It's a good leader. Okay, this would be the more terrible leader, like someone that's not particularly mature leading the troops. Okay, so 6 elements. Earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Sagittarius viewers. So I want my dear Sagittarius to have love in their lives and to find themselves in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. So Death and the Sun wants to show their face. Death, it's 13, 1 plus 3 is 4, so it's connected to the Emperor, and we had 2 kings in this reading. So I'm thinking, what I'm feeling here, it's like a no-go, a person that is not going to be stressed about having things taken away from them. I feel together with the Sun here, it's like a person saying, well, come on then, show me what you got. So it's a person not being afraid of the consequences because they have a very, very good self-esteem. They love themselves. So it might be that Sagittarius have been kind of a victim to people that has been bullying them in some ways, or you have been doing this towards other people. But I'm going to read from your perspective. It's easier for me, and you can change that if you feel it's in some other way. So I'm thinking you have been in difficult situation with difficult people, and it has taught you this kind of like die before you die. You don't hold on to things and people and situations anymore. You do because you love them. So there's a certain bond between you and your house and you and your wife and you and your dog and everything. But if you would lose them, you would survive. So it's a kind of very spiritual thing that coming through here. So I'm thinking that any difficult person in your life has actually been doing you a favor. They have helped you to put yourself in this position where you are not easily drawn into a drama anymore. So that's kind of great. Okay, so I will just tune in for a few seconds here. So, my dear Sagittarius, this is your future there, and this is your now there. And here we have a Justice card. I think that you have lived through some situation with very high resistance towards you, where you have taught yourself to give yourself justice. You can also be, of course, in a legal situation, because we saw the King of Swords, that's Aquarius, is kind of a judge. And here, Justice, it's Libra. You also have Knight of Swords, so it's Gemini. It might be one and the same person being all these archetypes in your life, trying to trigger something inside of you, so you will wake up and use this air energy yourself a little bit more, but not with becoming dramatic and so judgmental, but more learning to not be so easily triggered by these energies. So now you can go to court any day and be cool and not be nervous, because you have nothing to be nervous about. You trust yourself, you trust your own instinct, you know that you are a good person, you always try your best. So there's nothing to be nervous about. So that's really good. So there's a reason to why you have been through all this. Okay. That's the past, so it's probably can go back to a longer period of your life as well. Here in the now, the first part of June, we have the King of Cups. So this situation is holding some kind of healing to you. It might also be that someone in a love relationship might come and say that they're sorry with the 11 Justice and the King of Cups together. So you might be offered an apology because... maybe because you're not engaging in the drama anymore. So if a person have tried a certain game with you, have acted in a certain way towards you, and try to make you feel dramatic feelings due to what they try to stir up within you, and now you kind of not engage in that anymore, that have actually healed you. So thank you again to these difficult people in your life that made this possible. So King of Cups can also be a Scorpio, Cancer or Pisces person in your life. And here we have also rebirth. So this is what I sensed with this reading, that you have really grown into like your big boy pants and you are grown up. Now you have learned to love yourself and stand steadily at the ground. This is actually the little boy here. It's the little boy from the Sun card, and it's also coming out of the Tower. So it's like your inside you is coming out to be exposed, because you're not scared anymore to expose the inner core of you. It's not scary. Anyone, like, they can see whatever in you and say this to you, and you wouldn't be really offended. It's like you have found your true self-value, your true foundation here now, and they are also celebrating this because it's a big rebirth for you. We also have the rabbit here. It's a very spiritual symbol. It's very fragile, but it has spiritual. It belongs very much to the spiritual world. We know witches use them and their vulnerability. But you can see the circles here. So it's like other dimensions. Where your vulnerability is like a key to yourself. To this rabbit is very vulnerable. It's a prey, so it's often in the danger of getting killed. But now, since you have learned to love yourself so much, you are not scared of this vulnerability anymore. Whatever happened, it would just open a door to a new dimension. So if you, for example, lose your job because someone is back talking you, well, it just opens a door to a new dimension where you have another type of job, or start your own company, or travel the world, or whatever. So it just holds new keys to new dimensional doorways. So you are not really vulnerable. Change is good. Rebirth might also mean, again, that you have both justice, 11 justice, and this is the judgment card together. So it might be like a trial, but it might also be like a person wants to ask for forgiveness, or you want someone to forgive you, because you don't see the reason to why you had a quarrel from the first place. It's like you have become a geese, so the water is kind of flowing off from you. It's not touching you really. So I admire this. I think this is a really good step, Sagittarius. And for some of you, you are going through this kind of dimensional doorway, and if you do, so if you have left something behind, you're probably going to get new opportunities. The King of Cups usually come bearing big gifts. So that's a very good thing. And it might be a water sign wants to rejuvenate your relationship. It might also be more serious, like you being in a custody battle of a child with a water sign person. That might be it as well. But even so, the situation is still bearing gifts to you, like teaching gifts that will be very valuable. So if you are standing in some kind of trial or some kind of very demanding situation, be your natural true self. Stand up for what you believe in. Show like the truth that you see, and try to make other people see it in as much as possible, and also listen to the other people's truths, so you can really get some good things coming out of this. If people are very clear with communicating what's really inside of them, situations has the tendency of solving itself more easily. We can see this when we watch movies and we see people lying about things, or not telling their partner or their best friend about something, and we know that they should really tell them, but the whole story is about them not telling, and all the things that goes bad because of that. So here we have the past, and we have Cernunnos here. So Cernunnos is the devil, can be a Capricorn person in your life. It can also be like a shadow within you, where you have stored talents, archetypes, things with you that you didn't want to share with the public. Like it can have been very vulnerable things. It can have been things you didn't want other people to know because you didn't want them to gossip, or you didn't want to like be seen as less in other people's eyes. It might also be that you are in a situation with a person, again, like with the Knight of Swords and this Devil card together, might be okay, so now I admit they might have a little bit of narcissistic tendencies, but it's just because they have a lost soul part. And if you have a person on the outside with a lost soul part, guess what? Then you also have a lost soul part. That doesn't say anything about who you are and your self-worth, but it's saying that you have something that you need to try to get back. So you need to connect with those places in yourself that you don't dare to go, because there they will be these things that you need to reconnect with. And here we have the Ace of Wands. It's a beautiful energetic card about maturity. So I feel something is growing in the dark. Something is coming from the shadowy parts that's going to have great beneficial for you. The Ace of Wands being like these talents that I told you about. If you have a personality trait that you really don't like with yourself, that personality trait also have like a bright side to it. It's like the other side of the penny, and if you kind of deny the side of you that you don't want, you are going to lose this beautiful side as well. So here it comes growing out from this more dark place. It's like a storage inside your subconscious parts where you store things that you don't want to look at. But it can also be like a Capricorn person wants to rejuvenate a situation with you. And here we have a Queen of Cups. So when we have a Queen of Cups and a King of Cups in the same reading, there's really something that wants to it's the King of Hearts and the Queen of Hearts. So of course love must be in the air here. It might be people longing after each other, thinking of each other, thinking of past beautiful time together, or just finding a new person and feeling that warmth in your heart. And even if you haven't spoke to that person, it feels like you belong together. It probably is like lovers here that are supposed to meet or have already met. But as we all know, the love stories, they always come with a little bit of challenge. So it's not this with happy ever after that we learned in the fairy tale. So therefore they are a little bit apart, but they are anyway turned towards each other. But the Queen of Cups is mainly turned towards this the Devil, Cernunnos card right now, because she is about to birth forward something new here. We have the full moon and she has her toe in the water. So I'm thinking she is starting to process this with feeling her shadowy side and bringing back these lost soul parts of hers. And this is going to heal her, of course, and make her to a more radiant soul. And when we have more of our soul parts, more of our energy, we also become much more powerful, which we can see in this Seven of Wands card, because when this Queen of Cups, she's rather emotional and she can be a little bit fragile as well, very empathic, wants only good in the world, don't want to fight. But here, because she has integrated Cernunnos, she is now able to put up a boundary. Okay, so no, thank you, you are not coming in here. So instead of just being empathic and loving, she can also be empathic and loving now towards herself. So if it's something she don't like, she's not going to invite it. So this is what you have learned from difficult people in your life, is to know what you like and what you don't like, and when to say no and when to say yes. So this is different intentions that's coming. It might also be different ideas from you yourself. Can be suggestions also, like today we really need to tend to our boat, so we can put her to sea next week. And it can be different suggestions like this, and you need to sort which one you want to go with, because a person can't do everything. So sometimes we need to also put boundaries towards ourselves. So Seven of Wands is Mars in Leo. This card represents Mars in Leo. And here you also have Seven of Pentacles. So it's some kind of delay due to probably the Queen of Cups in this situation saying no thank you. She's saying no thank you to something, delaying it. Usually it's the other way around. Queen of Cups rarely gets what she wants, because the Queen of Cups is the helper in all situations. So she helps people around, like in her family and everything. And so she's usually like the ignition, the one that tries to fix things. But here it's like she has stopped with trying to fix things. So that can be a surprise for the people in the surrounding if this would happen. But she still have dreams, of course. this is a mistletoe, so she's just delaying it maybe for a later time. Maybe there is suitors in your life that you don't want to invite, or there might be it might be like gifts coming to this situation that you are going to say no thank you, or you did so in the past here. Or it might be that someone loves you but still rejects you because they think that the love that you give is not enough, or the other way around, that you have said no to someone, as I told before, that you don't feel like they can give you justice or give you the same thing that you give to them, so that it's an unequal situation. So you're actually using this to give yourself justice and to protect yourself and take better care of yourself. Yes, it might make life less fun because you're not on adventure with a half semi-dangerous person, maybe on a motorcycle cross country. So might be less interesting life, but we need to try this out also to make more smart choices for ourselves, not always inviting danger to our lives or excitement to our lives, drama and things like this. It might be very interesting to have a dramatic person in your life, or to be a dramatic person, but eventually it kind of gets lame. Okay, so it was, I'm feeling here that the Queen of Cups have found her own strength inside herself, her own justice, and she sacrificed everything that's not in tune with this. So it's what I'm seeing here. Okay, so that was in the past, this is in the now, and here we have a Prince of Wands, so that's definitely a Sagittarius, and it comes underneath Sir Nuno's, and it's a full gallop here with the Prince of Wands. He comes from the East bearing knowledge to the people in the West. It's like Eastern philosophies, spiritual work, how to embrace your darkness or leave the darkness behind, how to become more positive, have better attitudes, be more goal oriented. So it's a fresh energy, but it's a very fast burning energy. So it's like what I said to Cancer, it's like a bumblebee going from flower to flower. So Sagittarius might have you love to ignite new projects, but it's not always that you can follow through with them, but it's because you are supposed to spread your seeds and move on and find new interesting angles with this. So it's another Knight. We have Knight of Cups, Knight of Swords, and now also Knight of Wands. So Knights are changes. Knights are fast-moving energies. It's things happening. It's also youthful people, youthful situations, a situation where we might not see the full picture, but we are very enthusiastic anyway. And here we have the High Priest. So in the Cancer reading, they came like this, these two cards. So now they are just flipped around, and we have a Queen of Cups here. So Prince of Wands and the High Priest. High Priest is society, can be a school, of course. We were talking about college students and also higher education. But it can also be a family, a tribe, a society, a company. And it comes underneath Ace of Wands. So it seems like there's something new. Like a new spiritual knowledge put to the library of humankind. So in some way you have taught other people something new. So society now knows more than what they knew before you were here, before you done this thing that you done. So it's like you added to the Akasha Chronicle something new and profound that will actually change humans' lives. So it's like this, when we do something profound like this, we learn, like a Queen of Cups, that's a total giveaway with the things that she has to a person that can put boundaries. It's actually rather amazing, and you probably were one of those that make this happen by you going this road. Then other people can follow you on this road. And eventually the road will get broad, and everyone will have this kind of self-confidence and self-love to be able to say no to situation that's not ideal. And we can also see the sun in these cards. It's here you have the sun and the wand. Here you have the sun and he's doing like a victory gesture there. I got the torch now. I got the fire. So it's someone with a very good self-esteem, might not be so considerate about other people's feelings, but might be that they have something important to do. So they need to be a little bit stubborn to get this message through. Okay. Next card is Two of Wands. So Two of Wands is, it came for both Cancer and Capricorn. It's a very strong card. It's a person kind of saying no, okay? Because they want to choose the best option. So they are putting everything a little bit on hold and trying to make a clear judgment of things. It's Two of Wands. Justice is number 11. 1 + 1, 2. So they are kind of connected, these cards. And the Two of Wands, it's like no more. I'm not going to do this no more. So you're using your self-control to hold your horses, say no thank you, take your time, make a better choice for yourself. So you're using your own inner strength and own inner calmness and self-confidence to change the course that this road has taken. And it's 1, 2 of Wands. So you are probably in a situation where you have some greater choice to make. The High Priest can be about commitment as well, family, tradition, cultures. And this Prince of Wands is kind of riding hysterical in the wrong direction. So even if you are Sagittarius, you might actually be this person. And as long as your suitor is running away from you, you are not going to engage in the relationship. It's first when he kind of turns around and come back and engage that maybe also you would put some more effort into this situation. And for others of you, of course, it's Sagittarius running away from this situation. I don't know exactly why, but it has something to do with the devil there. Okay, so some of you might feel like you are being faced with, it's like someone is judging you or facing you with the consequences of earlier, like what has happened between you earlier, and you don't want to take the consequences. So for some of you that will be true as well, but take the consequences. No one can blame you or tell you that you are a bad person if you are not thinking it yourself. And if you're thinking it yourself, that's when people start to become destructive and do destructive things. So it's better to see the truth. Okay, I did some bad things here. Why did I do those things? I see that I I run away from this relationship when I really love this person because he's running and he come to the King of Cups. So I'm thinking that a person is running away, but then realizing, well, I love this person. Why am I running away? But what you might be running away from in this case is the blame. You don't want to blame for a situation. Why we don't want to blame for a situation is because we feel that it will make us feel unsettled and unworthy, and we are losing leverage. But really, if we just admit to, yes, okay, yes, I did this wrong and I acted in self-destructive ways, and you figure out why, then you actually can free yourself, because a person is not destructive if they are not a little bit self-loathing. So that would actually free a person from being self-loathing. A person that doesn't want to take responsibility, doesn't want to say, I'm sorry, is usually self-loathing. They can't say they're sorry. It would add to the burden that they have already put upon themselves. So you might be dealing with a person that have a hard time to say that they're sorry because they can't face their own darkness, because they feel that they are not worthy of love. They are not worthy to be loved for who they are. So they are running away from people saying that this is what you is, this is what I saw with you. And we need to be like this person that says, yes, maybe I am. So maybe I am a sissy. Maybe I am not invested in this relationship. And if this is true, so kind of, take things out and push a little bit air into there. Like what we saw in the beginning, King of Swords, Knight of Swords. It might need like a real showdown, like people really telling each other the truth. instead of running away from things that isn't even real. Because a person might feel that that the other person isn't engaged, and the other person isn't engaged because they feel that this person hates them or doesn't approve of them, and this person is just like puzzled with why this other person doesn't want to stay with them. So I'm feeling like it's a running situation here. But here we have a 9 of Wands, so it's more boundaries. 7 of Wands, it's increasing. 9 of Wands, 2 of Wands, all this is like boundaries. It seems like the Queen of Cups here has put herself in a castle, and the suitor is running away. So it's not this where the knight in shining armor coming and saving Rapunzel from the tower. He's actually deserting her there. Oh, okay. And here we have the wheel, so it's kind of here we go again. So this is a new chance to solve this situation. You are at this threshold again where there's a lot of problems in the air, but it's also a second chance to fix this. And yes, the solution is of course that the Queen of Cups, if she felt, it seems here like she might have felt not so very well treated. 5 of Cups, disappointment, heartbreak, feeling out, left out in the cold, and now I don't want to feel like this again, some person says. So, it's probably you. And you don't want to feel like this again, and you admit to your feelings, you value them, you also value your own darkness inside of you, like maybe being, for the Queen of Cups, it would be being over dramatic, maybe passive aggressive, manipulating people, trying to control them so they won't hurt her. And so she's acknowledging all this inside of herself, and she also acknowledged that she don't want to be treated like with disrespect. And then we have the Prince of Wands that might fear that, well, if I leave the Queen of Cups, she's going to die. She's not going to survive. It's my fault. So I'm shackled to this person. I'm obligated. So it's almost like a person haven't really separated themselves from their parents, especially maybe mom, because the Queen of Cups becomes their mom, like a person shackling them, telling them always what to do and what to wear and how to talk and when to speak and when to not speak and when to show up and when to not show up. So it becomes like this freedom-loving person is getting like stuck in this situation, and therefore they don't want this commitment and they're running away because they just want their freedom, becoming an adult person. And now so it's like becoming captured and live with your parents again, but really might be a love relationship most most likely. Okay, so it can be any kind of situation, but some person is escaping responsibility because they don't believe in their own freedom. The Queen of Cups is not afraid to lose her freedom because she knows she's free. She can go and be whatever she wants. What she is afraid of is losing the Prince of Wands. And the Prince of Wands is not afraid of losing the Queen of Cups, but afraid of losing their freedom. So it's very different fears. And the one is not afraid of what the other person is afraid of, but they're actually triggering each other with their fears. So when this person wants more and more freedom, they abandon the Queen of Cups more and more. And when the Queen of Cups gets upset by being abandoned, they smother the Prince of Wands more and more. So it's a difficult situation, but it's here for people to heal. So it seems like the Queen of Cups is kind of saying, okay, I don't care. Run as fast as you want, drive wherever you want, don't come back also. But the wheel says, well, this situation will come back. In any kind of situations will come back, so you will be able to practice it on it again. Maybe, for example, the Queen of Cups needs to take more responsibility for her own feelings, and the Prince of Wands needs to be not so triggered by people wanting things from him, because no one can rule over him. He's a free person. It's like freedom that he loves the most, but he is more captured and not free than the Queen of Cups. So it's interesting this way, because it's like the thing he loves the most, the freedom, is a thing that he doesn't have. And Queen of Cups wants harmony in relationships and commitment and closeness, and that is what she can never get. She only has freedom. So it's very interesting, and it's because they are shadowing each other's fears. So if this person could learn that it's cool, I can decide for myself. She's not my mother. I decide for myself. They don't have to revolt all the time. And if the Queen of Cups can start to love herself, she don't have to smother the other person. So, okay, so the love is there anyway. So even if these people are miles away from each other, they still love each other. And they just need to run for a while, and then they'll start to miss the other person, and then here we go again. So, but it seems like the Queen of Cups is very grumpy here, and might not like invite, even if this person comes and say, oh, I'm sorry, I see now, I miss you, and all these things, and it will still be like thorns here. So we can say that the Queen of Cups really have learned their lesson here, to say no. Okay, I don't want to be treated like with disrespect anymore, or get my heart broken every time you need to run out the door. Okay, so this is your future, and we have the 8 of Wands. So it seems like the Capricorn, Sagittarius person here. This is also Sagittarius. It still doesn't have to be you in this reading. You can as easily be this person. This might be your suitor, or like your girlfriend running away from you. It can go so many different ways. You need to apply this to your situation and not be upset and like, oh, I'm not the one running away, it's my partner. Well, then this is you. Okay. But anyways, this person wants to come back, but it might be that they want to come back just to get some attention, because the devil can be very attention seeking. It's like an actor, see me and all my flaws and love me anyway. And here we have the Strength card, Strength, 8 of Wands, 8 Strength card. Okay, so it's a little bit peculiar position for this card underneath Ace of Wands and the High Priest, but I'm thinking that this have to do with this spiritual quest of yours, that or this Prince of Wands not going to budge. It's like this person wants to reconnect but not going to budge, and this person doesn't want to reconnect and doesn't want to budge. So we have 2 people not budging, and one wants to reconnect and the other doesn't. So it's hard for this relationship here, because people love each other, but they can't connect because of what has been, like the memories of what has been, like how this situation has been before. So no one is ready to really say that they're sorry and yes, I will change my ways and I will try this instead. But both people wants to keep their positions, and only one person wants to reconnect. That's a little bit sad. Okay, and here we have the Magician. So the Magician comes underneath Queen of Cups and 2 of Wands. So there's no talking to this girl. Okay, she has or male. This might be a male as well. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. They have set their mind in stone about something. They can survive hundreds of years in a desert without budging. They are their own master now. Okay, so Mercury, they are very closely related to the Sagittarius. It's very fast moving energy, messengers, close to the sun. So I'm thinking this person have taken up this from the devil here. We can see they are taking up this Ace of Wands. I got the torch now, I got the fire, and here they're using it. So before they were probably more aiming towards consensus, okay, wanting to be nice, wanting everything to be harmonious, but this didn't pay off. So now they are my way or the highway, so they are not going to budge anymore. Very interesting. And here we have the lady. So it comes up in underneath 7 of Wands and 9 of Wands and 2 of Wands and the Wheel. Okay, so eventually it might be that the feminine side to you will start opening up, but it's very much like thorns, and then suddenly being like an open door. Okay, so we'll try again. I give you my riches again. I will share my life again. I will share my energy again. So it's a peculiar twist, but the Magician and the 8 of Wands is about communication, and we have the Strength card in the middle. So it might be that if this person get their will through, they might soften up a little bit, okay? And here we have the Chariot. So the Chariot is a good card. It's about both these energies. It's Sagittarius and Cancer. So I'm thinking this is about something universal inside of you. You have 2 sides to you, and these 2 sides needs to work together to be able to get the show on the road and get you to where you are supposed to go. So if you have a very masculine side to you that kind of wants to have new ideas, new things all the time, can't stay in any situation for too long and doesn't want to commit. You have a feminine part of you that wants to have a home, wants to have security, wants to have long-lasting love, wants to have values, like different values, like a house, family, permanent job, friends, a husband, okay? And you need to get these 2 sides inside of you to work together. And if you do, it seems very prosperous. It seems sharp. It's like almost, I don't dare to breathe. It's like people are... with a person like this here, they are very strong. All these major arcana cards makes them, it's very strong, very determined. They have a clear vision of what they want. So it's like a person not lowering their standards. And it can be very hard to satisfy a person like this. You know, these kind of people when you are helping them cook and they need things in a certain, like you do things in the way they do things. And if you help them with the dishes, you need to put the dishes in the locker that where they put the things. And it's like it's no use helping them because they want to do it themselves. So it's like this energy. They are not going to let you in. They are like, it's like a wall, but in the same time a very competent wall. And it's like intimidating for me. But this entity here... I guess they really want to revive this situation because it seems like they're brave enough to enter up to this energy and say, okay, I will engage myself. I will do the work together with you. And they need to be a very brave person to dare to do this because it's like this person is themselves enough. They don't need anyone else. Okay, so 2 of Wands. I will read the central card for you since the central card is kind of ruling the reading a great deal. So this is the major energy in this. The fiery dynamic nature of Wands can find relationships difficult but also highly creative. Just as the imposing hill figure of the long man of Wilmington in Sussex stands holding 2 staves apart, creating the image of a doorway, so the 2 of Wands represent a doorway of possibility that is opened when you use the tension of relationship creatively. This could mean exploring the energy and potential that a partnership holds, or it may involve holding 2 ideas, projects, or feelings side by side, allowing the relationship between them to unfold and open up new areas of possibilities. The power of this process is symbolized when High Priestess and priest face each other in the Wiccan ritual and in Druid by the image of a door or a gateway. The Indo-European root for door is the same as for Duir, or the oak from which the word druid may derive, and whenever a druid enters a grove or stone circle, they acknowledge the power of two forces that stand to either side of them as the entrance. So it's the chariot card. Two energies needs to be brought together to make this show on the road. So this card may suggest that although you are satisfied in having everything you need, you also long for more. Your hands are full, your possesses both staves, and yet it's in having them you are have created a doorway, and a part of you long to step through to explore a new world. You may be searching for deeper meaning, contemplating taking a journey. You have full material life and now wish to explore the spiritual dimension. So for some of you, it might be this too. If your relationship with someone is crappy and they have closed the door, you might go on a like your own journey on your own. But the lady, it seems like this person is still the one for some reason. Like they're still very important. So even if you take a journey across the earth, destiny is still there. So you can't really run away from this. But it's Sagittarius' job to roam the world. So if that is what you need to do, it's what you need to do. So you use your own intuition with this. But know that Sagittarius has a little bit of a tendency to run instead of staying and sorting things out. And you actually have both these sides to you. And if you only give one side of you attention, the other one will deteriorate and be in the shadow again, and then we have to start all over again. So give food to all parts of you, all archetypes within you. So I will take the Sacred Rebels Oracle cards with Alana Fairchild. It's the same author as for Wild Kuan Oracle, and I will take a card for you, bringing it into form. Okay, so I will read this card for you. It's number 41. Oh, sorry. That wasn't my intention. 41. Okay. Seems like you're leaving. Beautiful dreamer, you can imagine wonderful worlds of light. You can dream up so many possibilities. Now it's the time to bring those possibilities of light into the world. They need to be more than ideas. They need to live, to manifest. The world needs not only your dreams, beautiful as they are, but also your creations. Get thee to thy desk, thy easel, thy computer. Work, beautiful dreamer. Don't just dream, create. You are being asked to honor yourself with a commitment to complete your inspired tasks. That will help you to grow, and that is a wonderful reason to commit. But there is another reason too. You know that your inspired ideas are worth translating into practical forms so that other people can access them and experience something special too. If you have been thinking about writing a book, painting a picture, or acting on an inspiration or idea, then this oracle is bringing you an unequivocal yes, do it now. Don't dally or dither about the details, or worry about how it's all going to work out. The universe loves a bold spirit. Once you take a step, it will rush towards you like an enthusiastic and chivalrous lover, opening doors, hand gently guiding at your lower back as you are moved forward. You will promptly be provided with all that is needed to take the next step. Okay, so all this determination might be because you need to, you are needed somewhere. It's only major arcana cards, so it's very hard to see like the context with this. It's just powers. This is messages, communicating, together with Knight of Cups. Usually this is King of Cups. It usually means apologies, and it was I got all the way here. The Strength card, it's about having courage, strength, determination, believing in yourself. The Magician is having ideas, putting up the map, taking out bearings, like this is where I want to go, this is my dream, this is what I want to create. The Lady is like resources, having resources. It might be like your own company, or like your talents. It seems like they're closed off here. You don't want to share it with anyone, but then you do. So maybe you have turned your energy towards things that didn't make sense or didn't give you things back in reward, and now you are taking matters in your own hands. So you're using this for yourself and self-creation. And the Chariot is journey, experience. It can be like an actress moving to Los Angeles to be actually like make it big, so that kind of thing. It's like dreams being dragged over the sky. So it can also be people coupling up and making efforts together. Two people that's very different might add themselves into a project or a romance. But with the Seven of Pentacles here above, with the wheel is like belonging to the Chariot. You can also see the wheel here in the center there, and it's also wheels on a chariot, of course. So so first it's like delay, or things are not happening. It's like a desert because you don't get the right kind of circumstances. And here it's also like a lot of resistance, but then comes the wheel. So it's like divine timing, and things are opening up. But it still stands this with any relationship. This might be you being very like holding off suitors that you know is not going to make you happy. So it can be that also for those of you in love situations. But in other cases, it's like get go. It's like a go. It's like you know, they shoot the pistol for starting the race here, and it's if all this energy is together and you don't read them like the compartmentalized, I don't know the name, but together, then it's a rush of energy that you have for your disposal. And it's usually like this with Sagittarius. If you want something, you put your mind to it, you will have it. So this is no difference. The same thing this time. Okay, so thank you so much for hitting the likes button so much that you ended up on the like the third sign for me to read for. I'm very grateful. It's so nice to get back the gratitude and to know that that you really want to listen and you like what you hear. It gives me like a spark to continue with this. It's a kind of heavy work. It's like doing 24 documentaries in a month. All of these readings have become like an hour long, and it's not with my intention. So I might shorten the readings to make this, for example, a 9-card spread instead of 15, and maybe the mid-month will be Celtic Cross or something. We'll see. But of course this message wants to come true, but I'm only one person, and I also have my lessons to learn, and sometimes it's like not doing everything to my fullest extent and using up all my energy. I'm fire also like you, so this is could easily be me doing this race. Okay, but when you put your energy into one thing that you want to do, and then you will succeed. You will have success with this. All this energy put in the same direction will make wonders, I believe. So take really good care and taint to your dreams, and don't mind so much drama, and don't be too stubborn also. Try to lighten up, be also positive for other people's sake and well-being, and you will have a great June, I presume. So take really good care, and you're welcome back to my mid-month June reading that I will perform in the beginning of June. Okay, bye-bye.